When does your portfolio quietly start earning more than your paycheck?
Most people miss it because $300 in year one feels like nothing against a $50,000 salary. And that comparison throws a false signal that the market isn't working.
But that tiny gain is the engine assembling itself. Automatic contributions, reinvested dividends, and time.
The invisible wall where capital takes over labor, not on a fixed timeline.
But at a mathematical threshold tied to portfolio size.
How to set a clear target using a 6 to 10% return band, and the 3 signals that confirm you've crossed it.
Here's where the invisible wall comes into focus. It isn't a date on a calendar. It's a threshold defined by
math. When your portfolio's average annual gains begin to match or surpass your annual salary, that's the crossover.
That's the crossover where capital quietly outworks labor.
Where gains matter more than tweaks to your deposits, and the engine starts pulling instead of being pushed.
Early on, it doesn't feel like that at all. You put in $6,000 over a year, and the market tosses you $300.
Against a $50,000 salary, that looks like a rounding error. It's not a failure, it's a scale problem.
Automatic deposits are building your base, and reinvested dividends are adding share count.
Time is laying track for returns to run on. During this phase, your contribution rate dominates. Later, your return rate takes over.
That period is noisy. Markets move in, jumps, stalls, and dips. One month looks great, the next looks flat.
And if you watch too closely, you'll convince yourself nothing's working.
Month-to-month comparisons mislead because returns are lumpy. Your deposits are linear and predictable. But compounding isn't. Think of your path as a staircase that gradually turns into a ramp. The slope, say 6 to 10%.
Doesn't need to change for the dollars to get bigger. The base under that percentage grows.
In year 1 and 2, with $6,000 per year going in, you might see $300 to $700 in gains. A few years later,
the same percentage throws off much larger dollar amounts because your base is no longer small.
So how do you spot the wall before it's obvious? Use rolling 3 to 5 year averages instead of judging by any 1 month or year.
What if the boring middle years are the exact moment the math turns in your favor? The stretch where?
The stretch where nothing looks dramatic is when the engine actually locks in.
You're laying rails, not chasing headlines. And that quiet consistency is what turns effort into acceleration later.
Here's a realistic 5-year path. Keep contributions steady, say $6,000 per year, and reinvest every dividend.
That rhythm builds a large base each month without asking for more effort.
You're trying to widen the runway so the same percentage return lands in bigger dollar terms as the base grows.
Years 3 through 5 are where most people get tempted to pause or tinker. Headlines scream, friends swap funds.
Your own results feel small. That's the danger zone. Hitting pause interrupts the very compounding you need.
The boring choice, stay automated, keep reinvesting, ends up being the faster path because it protects the base you're building.
Five years later, A typically has more shares and a sturdier base, and B likely paid frictions, missed cheap buys.
And pushed back the moment when returns start to matter more than deposits. The difference wasn't insight, it was continuity.
As this phase settles into glide, and the next step is to define what enough.
The math is simple division. Desired annual income divided by your chosen return rate equals the portfolio needed.
If you want $50,000 a year at 6%, you're looking at roughly $830,000.